Hello and welcome to the fourth video in a series of videos dedicated to helping alumni develop their resumes, cover letters, and also their LinkedIn profiles. This session is dedicated to the cover letter. My name is Megan Godorov. I'm the Associate Director for Alumni and Community Engagement at Mount Holyoke College, and it is my pleasure to welcome you and to have you join us today. Whether you are listening to the recording or joining us live at another session, we're happy to have you, and we look forward to hearing your feedback on the videos, perhaps new topics that you'd like, or otherwise just comments about what more you need in terms of learning from us about cover letters, resumes, and LinkedIn. You can feel free to reach out to us at cdc@mtholyoke.edu. Again, that's cdc@mtholyoke.edu. We'd be happy to answer your questions and respond to you via that email regarding these cover letters. So moving on, I want to share with you a little bit about the resources that we have related to cover letters on our website. Some of you may have already stumbled upon them, others of you may not know, so I wanted to make sure that everybody was on the same page. So if you go to our website, up at the top here, mountholyoke.edu/cdc/alumni, you will get to a resources page or a page with a drop-down menu about just about right here. You'll see, I'll go back, right here where it talks about our services and what we do to provide opportunities and information to our alums. If you scroll down a little bit further, you'll learn more about the 5 ways in which we connect and engage with you. And then over here, you'll see a tab called Professional Resources. And if you click on that tab, you'll get back to the first page that I was initially showing you, where you can choose information about cover letters. So if you scroll down and choose Cover Letter Guide, you will get to the page that I started with. This really gives you the background. What are the key elements of a cover letter? What do we recommend in terms of dynamic words that you can use, and also some sample cover letters. So it's a great place to start. I'm going to go more deeply into the key elements of the cover letter in a couple of minutes, but I wanted to let you know that this was here. Again, there are additional resources on the corner or on the left side over here, and then you can always scroll down to the CDC for Alumni section below. So cover letters are always individuals, I don't know what I would say, more like worst nightmares, I guess, because it's something that you have to talk about yourself. You have to be really clear about what you would like and how you fit in with the company or with the position that they're promoting. And so it can be really hard to write about yourself and write about your accomplishments, but this is the best place to do it. Along the same lines, a place like LinkedIn or other social media sites can also be a place for you to showcase your interests. But this cover letter is really important to tailor to the position in which you're applying to, and to really be paying attention to the employer or the company to which you're also applying. The more that you can describe your fit, describe how you are a match with them, the better off you'll be in being successful in the process. So there are 2 types of people in the world. One that look first at the resume, and the other half that look at the cover letter first. So you really want to make sure that you're paying attention to how you're displaying who you are and what you're looking for. So the best way of doing that in a sort of a formulaic way that I think works for a lot of folks, of course this comes with practice, but are the 3 components that I'm scrolling down to now. The first is the thesis statement. So in the first paragraph of your cover letter, you want to state some fact about yourself, right? Something that's intriguing to the employer, maybe mentioning an accomplishment or a past position that you've held, something that really captures their attention. There are many ways to do this, and so I'll include with the video a couple of links to some other great resources where it gives you some examples of how to start a cover letter beyond what we're already encouraging you to do here. So typically, I started as, it was with great pleasure that I apply for the position of such and such at your company or at X company. And I believe that I'd be a great fit for this opportunity due to, and then you describe a couple of things, maybe your specific skills or your abilities, or maybe some experience. A lot of times, folks that are in your positions talk about the years of experience that you've had or the themes of the experiences that you've had. And that really captures the attention of the employers. So it's really about positioning yourself to the company. And again, this can take a little bit of time, but I would encourage you to create what we consider a sort of like two concentric circles, where you list one of the concentric circles as the skills that you bring to the table and the other concentric circle as what the employer is looking for. And you can take those keywords and those phrases directly from the job description. Once you do that, then you can see what overlaps, if anything. And usually what I say too to alumni and other students that I talk to, really what you want to be able to identify is, sort of that gut feeling, like, why did you really get excited about this position? Was it because you love the company? Was it because of their mission? Was it because you just feel like you're a great fit and it makes sense for the next step in your career? So it's really being conscientious of that and spending a little bit of time crafting that thesis statement. What is the argument that you're going to put forth to the employer about why you're a good fit? Also, in the first paragraph, where the thesis statement sits, is a place for you to mention an affiliation that you might have with somebody that encouraged you to apply, or someone that you talk to about the company or organization that you really want to mention. That said, feel free to use my name. I'd love to, to show that I'm affiliated with you, or maybe if I can be helpful in the process, please feel free to include my name. So really putting that in there in that space can be really helpful too. Mostly because you want to find any way to make a connection with the employer. So through your experiences and your skills, and also through your networking and affiliations. So the second section is your evidence. And again, this is a brief one-pager that really showcases who you are. Why is it that I'm supposed to be applying, and really sharing with the employer that reason. I mean, you really don't want to leave a lot on the table for them to guess, because again, this is one of the only chances that you have to speak about what you bring to the table. So, keeping your thesis statement brief allows you in the next couple of paragraphs to talk about the specific examples in which you've developed these skills or experiences. Oftentimes, individuals choose to talk about one specific experience that they had because maybe that captures everything that they know that they can do. Others like to talk about a variety of experiences, especially if they're trying to pivot into a new career and want to talk about some of their volunteer experiences and the ways in which they've been a supervisor in another experience, and pulling all those experiences together allows them to be qualified for the position. So spending a little bit of time on this is also very important, and not just to gloss over it and say that, you feel that you have done a great job supervising and then you're qualified, but more, talk about the nuances, talk about the accomplishments that you've gained in there, talk about how you've managed a team of 7 and, what you've done to grow in that position and what you've done to advance the lives of the folks that you were working with. So really spending a little bit of time providing specific examples. And this is also the space where you're guiding the reader back to your resume and taking them through that document a little bit more with greater context for why you want to go this direction. A lot of times, in this document, I think people get tripped up on how much do I say versus how little do I say. And I always find it helpful to just write what you want to write first and then go back and pare it down. That works for some people. Others really need an outline. And so again, if you feel like it's better to create an outline with a couple of bulleted points for each of the reasons why you're qualified, do that. Do what works for you. There's no one right way of organizing your thoughts, but I think there's definitely a better format for putting it all together in the end. And so that's why we suggest these 3 components. The last section, I'll scroll down a little bit further, is the closing statement. And here, you really don't need to talk much further about your experiences. If you really wanted to declare your passion for the organization, wanted to talk about the mission connection that you have, embed that into the other things that you say. Maybe at the front end of the letter with the thesis statement, or maybe just woven in within the evidence section. But you don't always have to introduce new information in the closing statement. What you really want to do is affirm your interest, to request a connection or request an interview if you feel that's appropriate, thank the employer for considering your application, and making sure that you are polite and succinct in this section is going to help just clean everything up at the end. You're going to spend and want to spend most of your time talking about your experiences in the rest of the document. So giving yourself space for that. The other thing I'll say is that there's ways in which to structure the document that will allow for more information to be shared. And everybody has their own stylistic preferences around this, but we say that at minimum, you can have margins of 0.5 or narrow, and that your font can be as small as 10-point font. Now, again, that all depends on you individually, and then also how you end up presenting your experiences. But making sure that you're being consistent in that format, and that you know that there's parameters around which you can really expand the document, I think that can help a lot of people share more about who they are and what they bring to the table. So that's another option. The other thing that I'll say is that the Career Development Center, through the work of my team here, the Alumni and Community Engagement team, offers alums the chance for document review to take place. So if you are working through your cover letter and you're feeling a little bit stressed about what it looks like and you're struggling a little bit around that, we do provide you with the chance to have that looked at. So if you wanted some feedback, feel free to give our office a call, and the number is actually up here in this side box, but it's 413-538-2080, and they'd be happy to schedule a time with me to go over some of that information with you. So with that, I will close this mini session on cover letters. Again, if you have questions or thoughts about how to create an effective cover letter, please do not hesitate to reach out. Certainly visit the resources that are down below here, sample cover letters and dynamic words. And then in the description about this webinar on the website, I will also attach a few links with examples of other ways to frame the first part of your cover letter, because I know that it can be really tough to start. So again, thank you for your time. Thank you for listening. I hope that you enjoyed this, and I look forward to hearing from you in the future. Take care.